Good morning. Let's do it. Where do I start? Wash my hands first. So, good morning. Welcome to the live stream. This is the day that the Lord has made, so I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it because I got a story to tell. Yes, I do. You got the ear and the eye to watch and listen. The choice is yours. Last night, I didn't get to pushing out that particular YouTube short, but it will come out the day after this. And I tell you, if you woke up this morning and you see the frost on your car, imagine how I woke. Just imagine. Imagine the frost, and this is just the start of it, honey. This is just the start. And I can't do this shit. I gotta wait and hold on. I gotta wait and hold on for this one. But just imagine if you gotta go outside and warm your car up before you go. But it also depends on where you live at. It may not be the same temperatures as it is where I'm at. When I tell you I woke up, my sleeping bag was, I'm gonna say it was partially frozen. And I was partially frozen with it. And this was around 2 or 3 or so. And I woke up. I had the hardest time getting up because I was solid as a rock. Solid as a rock. Literally, can't make this up. As I said, like my life is like a movie because there are times where I still cannot believe that I'm going through this season, but I gotta believe it because I'm in it. I got up at around, it was officially, I had to give myself up about three something because I couldn't lay there anymore because I was starting to feel the wetness seep through the sleeping bag, which I can tell that is wet because even my book bag is, it looked like it's using the restroom on itself. Number one, paying the water bill. So that was that. No complaints, but it's just like, oh my gosh, you're really out here, and this is just the start of it. It's only going to get worse, but you got to try to stay ready. So you got to get ready. So that was that. Even before that, just speaking on the title, I feel heavy, heavy. I feel a shift. I've been feeling shifts, but I'm gonna say 12 p.m. was when the shift really occurred. I started to envision things, looking back on the past. Let me just say, me, who I am, we do not want to keep revisiting the past. But if I'm feeling these feelings, it's for a reason. I'm not going to push these feelings away. I'm going to sit through it. I'm even going to talk about it. And I'm going to do my job as a content creator, giving you the open door policy to walk through to listen to my story along with part of my testimony, although the testimony is still being testified. I had a feeling of anger. And I was like, God, I don't want to be angry. But I felt that he was like, hey, it's okay to be angry, but it's all about how you choose to deal with that anger. I'm angry. I'm angry, and I'm sitting with those feelings because what I was going to do was distract myself from feeling these feelings. But I did that in the past. And when I distracted myself from these feelings, that only made my soul cry out more. So I'm learning deal with it. Hence, I told y'all once upon a time before, excuse my lips, babe, we ain't bought no lip gloss yet. And then, good morning, we got morning face. We ain't even washed it yet. I did try to wipe it a little. What if I did have cold in my eyes? I just want to say that. But the past me would cope with things. I would smoke weed. I would drink liquor. I would do things that block my emotions for the moment. And then I would keep blocking them because I kept on smoking. And then when I did drink, I kept on drinking because I didn't want to deal with the things I was feeling. And let alone, I didn't want to deal with the people that I was around. So I would gladly go and take me a shot and have me something in my bag, purse, whatever I was carrying because I didn't want to deal with what I was feeling. But now I got to deal with these emotions because it's a part of life. And it's also a growing journey for me as well too. I'm glad that I'm sitting with them. I'm glad that I'm feeling them because it's teaching me something. Still ain't got the full lesson yet of what I fully need to learn, but I am learning what I need to learn. I'm not going to share that yet. When I tell you, since May, for those who don't know, I've been applying for jobs because I knew what I wanted. I didn't want to work, of course. That's just me. So don't get that twisted. I'm gonna make sure I say that whenever I do say no, I don't want to. But I know that there's a time when that's needed. And then thinking about through this whole journey from August up until now, when I tell you it's a job in itself trying to find work, especially when you really want that job. For those who know the feeling, you know the feeling. For those who have had the experience, like you may have been applying for jobs for a long period of time yourself, being unemployed, and you know that there has been a rock wall, a brick wall that you come into, and it's like, what's going on, God? You sitting how you looking low. You know I need this job, but God knows more than we do. Hence, me doing all of that I've done since August. I'm gonna start it back in August up until now. That was still me being in control. Because in my fleshly man, I'm like, look at this situation I'm in. Look at it. Follow me. Look at it by sight. Why in the world would I not go and seek and I shall find jobs? Let me tell you a little something, somewhere. I don't know if you've got this far within your spiritual journey or your spiritual, um, your period of doing, having time with Him and getting into that word. God told us, don't look for a job. I think that's crazy. Now, you have to be in the Bible yourself. Don't take what I'm saying, because you got to see it for yourself and read it for yourself and then gain an understanding. He told us not to do that because He's the provider. Now I know if you not in your spiritual war zone, then what I just said, you gonna find something to say, and you find that thing to say. And I hope that after you say it, hopefully something resonates. Hopefully, another message may come your way today or in the near future, where it will make sense as to why he said not to do that. Because when you do that, I'm gonna speak for me. I'm putting myself in more of a worry state. I'm worrying about how I'm gonna do this. I'm worrying about how I'm gonna do that. I'm worrying about me not doing enough. I'm worrying. I have been worrying since August and trying to get a job. Baby, I still got the screenshots in my phone from all these rejections. And I kind of want to wait till I hit the number where it's going to be like, dang, you really got all these rejections? Minus the two that could have worked, but I wouldn't have been able to get there and it was not safe. And I'm glad that I made that choice and I'm glad that I did not force myself into that. But even I was thinking, and I'm not going to deny myself. Let me just say, I am me and you are you. Just listen to my story that I'm willingly telling you who you, baby. Let me just say, we online. This is a hard life, dealing with people who got their own thoughts, and especially if they not in your shoes, they will never understand. I'm not trying to make you understand. I'm just want to tell you my story. If I was to get a job, I honestly don't think that I'd be able to keep it. When I tell you, not only am I physically tired, my soul is tired. We ain't got it up in me. And I am not going to force myself to have it up in me because I feel like right now at this point, I could just literally fall out, pass out. I ain't got it in me. I want to have it in me. And I'm thinking about the past me. There were plenty of times when I had took jobs when I knew my body was talking to me saying, rest, rest. But my flesh was saying, why rest? I got bills to pay. Why would I rest? I gotta take care of this. Why would I rest? Ain't nobody coming to save me. Now there were some saviors. They saved me within a percentage, but it wasn't 100% saving. Taking it back to God is the only one that's gonna save us through everything that we're going through. I have been causing more wear and tear on my mind, on my heart, on my soul, my body, just by trying honestly to shut people up. That's what it is. But that's gonna happen regardless of what I do. Because keep in mind, I know that I'm not in control, regardless of how much I want to be. As I said, when you choose to walk with God, things gonna look totally different. Things are gonna look crazy. You're gonna look like you're mental when you walking with God. But I have surrendered, just not in the aspect of me pumping my brakes, with just letting Him do what He do. And I'm still learning on how to 100% do that when I know or believe that I'm in need of more finances. That's my only issue, my only major issue. I got plenty of issues now, but my major issue is the financial aspect. And I'm going to take this day, starting last night, midnight. I got to rest because I'm not going to kill myself by doing what he told me not to do in the first place. I wish I had some scriptures to back me up. And that's why today I'm going, that this I am going to force myself to do. And then again, I'm saying that, but I don't feel like it. But I need to go and get me a journal. I need to get me a journal, a pen, and a highlighter. So when I have these dreams that I be having, that feel oh so flipping real. When I am seeing the dead that I know, dead and gone, but they coming in my dreams giving me a message. When I'm feeling like I'm being killed or I'm being chased, it's taking me back to some visions and dreams that I had as a child being chased by martial law and a damn dinosaur. That's just one, because I told y'all about that one. But I gotta write these dreams down, record and report. That's what we're supposed to do. So with that being said, I want to put it in your mindset. Whenever you have a dream, honey, what I feel as though you should do is get you a journal or have some paper and have that paper by your bedside, wherever you lay it. So the moment that you wake up, whatever you can connect or whatever you can remember, write those visions down, write those dreams down, and look at what you write, sit with it. Understand you may not get the full entirety of that vision, but if you give it time and then pray to the Lord, those visions they're gonna start talking to you. You do know that when you sleep, and just say, God, He already doing what He doing for you in your life while you sleep, because that's your resting period, right? But when you get those visions, it's something that's speaking to you that you need to pay attention to. I don't care if the dreams are scary. Don't be afraid, because them dreams are gonna talk to you and tell you what you need to know so you can figure out. I don't like that figure. So you can see what you need to do, because we do still have to handle business, okay? If I was to get a job today, I'm not gonna make it. And that's just the real answer, because I want to make it, because who you I don't want to be like this the morning is cold. This morning was this morning was I done probably said it before, because I'm every day is new level, something different. But last night, man, this morning, I just gotta give him the glory, honor, praise. I'm still here. And I can't fathom that I got a 50-degree sleeping bag and it hit 29 last night. And then when I show you the cars, I wish I would have got a different car, but I was like, that's good enough. But if I would have recorded my sleeping bag, I wish I would have did that, because then you probably would have been like, you know, I don't care what you'd have been like. I know I was like, yo, this looks like a car with the frost on the window. And I had to get up. I had to get up and I had ended up sitting down on the step. I sat there for about a little bit over an hour because I didn't have it in me to flip and walk to the bus stop. Like I literally could just boop. Yesterday and a couple of days before, I had got rest. But whatever this shift is, it don't matter how many hours of sleep I get, I still feel like a heaviness on me, a weight. And I know it's not my physical, it's my soul feels heavy. And I'm gonna be figuring out why my soul feels heavy. I just wanted to come on here and say that, because I know I'm not the only one who's feeling the shift. I'm only talking to those who can relate. And if you can't relate, I'm not talking to you. But I am talking to you. I'm telling my story, but it's for those who can connect. If you've ever experienced it, taking it back to some of the things that I told y'all before, like while being on the bus or just walking past people, I feel everybody. I feel what they're going through. I feel how they feeling, and it ain't no good feelings. It's like, okay, I'm going through what I'm going through. And what I'm about to say, it should relate to you and me, because what I come on here doing, triggering you, beg and ask for help, you already got what you got going through, so you shouldn't want to hear that. Let me just say you got a choice. Keep that in mind. But I ain't got no choice right about now in this season. Everybody that I walk past, I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you. I'm really feeling it. And let me just say, taking it back to those who have been here with me, hopefully I got some everyday day ones. And I'm hoping that you have maybe possibly watched all of my videos where I'm talking. I presented a conversation to you about fake it till you make it, and I had so many people just, I ain't gotta think till I make it. I look, you feel the way you feel, and I'm gonna stand on how I feel. You're lying. You're lying through your teeth. You ain't got to lie to me because I be feeling it through the screen, baby. We do gotta fake it till we make it. Let me use Kelly Rowland for an example. She's a human like us, but she's a celebrity. I shared one of her things that she said on my community, no, on my YouTube shorts. And sometimes when you're not feeling it, and if you are a mature one, you don't want to show how you really feeling to other people because you don't want to make somebody else have a bad day because you having one. Let's take the tab the brand too for those who watch her. What she said, just because you having a bad day, don't go around. However, she said making somebody else have one. So with that being said, I'm tying into the fact that that's how I fake it until I make it because I'm learning from my past mistakes. My past mistakes, I used to walk around acting like the world did something to me, even if they did. I ain't know how to deal with my emotions. So I will wear my emotions on my face, on my shoulder, on my arm, on my whole body, and even on the power within my tongue. I would just you would know that I'm going through something. So I've learned from that. Don't do what I'm doing and making it bad for other people. Let's fake it till we make it because sometimes when you fake it till you make it, it may make you feel better. And then you're training, speaking on me, I'm training my mind to deal with what I'm going through. So if I'm, for an example, I am a natural nice person at heart, too nice sometimes. And it ain't nothing wrong with it, but it is something wrong with it. Not even gonna explain that aspect. But it's a lot of folks that don't know how to fake it till they make it. And I understand because we all got a choice to pick and choose how we deal with stuff. But it's not a good feeling everybody energies when I'm going through my own because you making me feel some type of way. You draining more of my energy that I ain't got. It's not a good feeling when you can feel other people's feelings, honey. It's not. And then when you can feel people's feelings, you want to do something about it. You might not even be able to do nothing about it. Then you may want to talk to somebody and tell them it's going to be okay regardless of how it looks. But some folks don't want to hear that. Some folks want to have that pity party and complain about what they're going through while failing to realize you're going through what you're going through because you need to go through it so you can learn something. That's me because I'm experiencing that. I got to deal with what I'm going through because no, I don't understand fully. No, not yet. But I do see the good within it, although it's looking real bad. When I say bad, it's looking real bad. Now back to these jobs. I can't force myself because I don't want to die like that. When I say that I'm heavy, I am heavy. And I do deserve rest. I do. I do because I've been doing so much. And the much that I've done has equated to not nothing, but something that I need to see. Like, dang, how hard headed you gonna be when he told you this rest, and when the time come, you gonna know when to act. At least I like to think I know because it happened before. Although this season is different, it's crazy. I feel heavy. Then I was thinking about God. You sitting high, you looking low, and you know everything that happened unto me. One thing that came back up a couple of days ago, I'm gonna tell y'all this story because this is how people was playing with me. I'm telling it because this is my testimony. And I do see how the enemy, they ain't getting bad, but they getting bad by sight. I was living at my grandmother's house at one time, and I remember I was going through a period where I kept receiving packages. to that location. Now, I'm not an Amazon shopper. If I do shop Amazon, it's only a few things. Back then, it was some boots, maybe some eyeglasses or a book. But somebody, whoever that somebody is, he about to reveal it to me because I've been working on this. We got a few people in mind of who was doing this unto me. Make it make sense. Why would somebody pay for something and send it to someone and they not receiving their packages? I had a dildo sent to me. Baby, we ain't gotta buy no daggone dildo. If I wanted to play with myself, I know how to go right to Priscilla's. A dildo was purchased and sent to my Kanisha Lachelle name at my grandmother's address. A endoscopy. You know you ever had an endoscopy test done? Well, you can either get the test going through your little tube going through your mouth and then going through your butt as well. I had that done to me. I had one of those sent to me. I also had the other things I can't remember because they were stupid. No, what was the other thing? It was just a bunch of stuff, and these things were costly. Nothing that I would ever buy because I can't afford that. But somebody put me on their to do list to send these Amazon packages to my grandmother's location. So I had told a family member, and I vividly remember they didn't seem too concerned. They was playing their role, but now that I see the veil thereof that was covering, it seemed like they had something to do with it, or they knew someone that had something to do with it. And the reason why I felt like this was being done because let me just say the money that this person was holding, it wasn't even theirs to spend. And the person's money who they was holding, they didn't even know what was going on because they no longer had access to that money. But I find it funny and weird where I was receiving so many packages to my name, to my grandmother's address, and those packages I did not purchase. See, what it looked like was a trap, a setup. For those who don't know my past story, in 2013, I was working at Walmart and I got into a group of people. Let me just say, I was in a time where money was funny. I want to tell you the full backstory. Probably telling it to you again. I don't know how many times I told you, but I'm going to say this. I currently got two student loan that's in default, and yeah, we in a default. Granny had put her neck on the line, I think twice if I'm not mistaken. She put her neck on the line, her finances on the line to put me through college because I had it in my mind I want to better myself. I know that I knew that back then I didn't want to just work a regular job, although I did, but I wanted to do more. I had thought about a career, I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And I sat down and I talked to my grandmother, and she was like, "Baby, I'm gonna put you through school." So she was able to get me those loans, one of which of those I'm in default of. And because my mindset was just wrong, to be honest, once I realized that I could get paid to go to school, I was doing the bare minimum to receive the bare minimum. When I say I was receiving thousands of dollars just from getting good grades, I was like, oh, I'm living life. It reminded me of what is that TV show? What is the related to the Cosbys? I'm not sure if it was the Cosbys, but Vanessa, no, it won't Vanessa, but one of the light skinned girl. She was how old? And she just stayed in college. It reminded me of her, the choices that I was making. I was like, shoot, I'm going to school so I get this check. Well, I failed to realize, baby, if you don't pass the class, you ain't going to get that full money. But after abusing the the blessing that God gave me through my grandmother, I had to then find out on my own because I was reaching more and more time. I was doing janitorial work during this season about me going to school. And some of the janitorial work, it was cool. I was working at a college campus. Some of y'all may know now known as Bright Point Community College, but it was John Tyler Community College. I ended up going to John Tyler Community College to obtain a degree, and I was going to John Tyler Community College in 2012 through 2013, and I was putting my own self through school. And This was a time when I left my first job, February 22nd, 2013 is when I left my first job. It was a place called Whataburger. I was a cashier at Whataburger, and I stayed there. That was my longest job I ever had, 5 years. And I left because my boss was treating me some type of way. I also left because the people was really starting to get on my nerves, and everybody just did too much of this. And you don't want me to set it off up in here because y'all older than me, and I ain't got time to hit that age factor. Ended up leaving, and two of my family members said, "You need to stay because it ain't going pretty much you ain't gonna get no better job than that." Baby, I was making $7.25. I could find a better job, and I did. Walmart. Worked at Walmart for almost 3 months, and within that time, I was going to be promoted to CSM manager. However, I got in the wrong crowd, and I was taught how to steal money, and I did it. That was my solution. Yup, I'm about to. They said do this, and how long y'all been here? Y'all been doing it? Shit, let me hop on the train and choo choo, because I already had a little experience with having sticky fingers. I had sticky fingers since a child, taking things from people that didn't belong to me only because I wanted what they had and I couldn't get it. I always wanted something, and we just didn't have enough money to get the things that I want. So I take accountability. I resorted to doing what I knew how to do well. And that was still at the time, but I didn't do it so well as I got caught. Anywho's, was stealing that money and went right to the school, got the proof. The dates line up. I took that money, honey, and I went to John Tyler Community College. I went to that registrar's office and gave that money cash to pay for two, two or three credit classes, one of which I don't remember. I think literally the next day, or if it was 2 days later, I got called into the manager's office, and boom, it was all she wrote. The years. Now, I'm saying that because I got a history of being a thief. hmm And then it reminded me to that story that I'm telling you about those packages. Why are these packages being sent to me and I ain't ordered nothing? So I had a moment of, am I crazy? Hold up. It was really crazy that I was doubting myself. I had to go to my Amazon account because your Amazon account shows everything that you purchase. All of those things. I can't even tell you how many packages it was, but it was ridiculous. And I had to pray on it for it to stop. And it ended up stopping after a while, but I wish my prayers won't work for it to stop when we would start. It was just too much. Who is spending all of this money on these packages and they not receiving their packages that they purchased? It was a trap for me to try to get me locked up in jail because I got a history. I got a history now. People know that I got a history. And if somebody don't like you, they can set and trap and plot and try to plan for you to fall in that pit. But God was with me. I had to pray my tail off. I'm like, Lord, no, I learned my lesson. We don't want to go to jail, although we should have went to jail. We should have went to jail for that 1 year for that crime that I committed. I took a plea deal of restitution, community service, and paying the money back. Well, that was restitution. I should have went to jail because if I went to jail, it would have wiped it off. But I didn't do that because I didn't want to go to jail. But taking it back to many things after that, it seemed like there has been a lot of traps that's been set for me to be locked up to go to jail. You may have seen some people come in my live stream asking certain things or saying certain things about prison and saying certain things about jail, honey. Let me just say, we are now in the year where our president has put homelessness as a crime. You can get locked up. I wonder why this year I ended up being homeless. I wonder, was that a pit that was did for me to go to jail and be locked up and throw away the keys, so therefore they could silence me that way? Because as you know, we're gonna tell the story because there's no lies being told. And if there is a lie being told, I'm gonna need for some people to step up to the plate. I need some lip gloss to fill in the gaps within the story that's being told. But I'm looking back on the things and it's absolutely disturbing. I am angry because this is how I know that something is going on. See, when I was running with the enemy and doing wrong things, everything was just fine. The enemy won't worry about me because I was aligned with him. But the moment that I started to awaken and become aware of my wrong choices that I was doing, and the moment that I started awakening and seeing the wrong that was around me within my environment, I almost didn't come out. That's when things start to get amped up. hmm And with that being said, you can run with the enemy all you want to. The moment that you come out of agreement with him, let's say if you've been one of his main masters, one of his puppeteers, baby, you do know he gonna get you too, right? The enemy don't love nobody. The enemy don't even like nobody. But he do got a conditional love for those that he know he can use for his own personal reason, his own personal motive, for his own personal intent. And that's to kill, steal, and destroy. So many things are coming back on me, and I'm like, I thought I got past that, which I did, but some things got to come back in order for you to really see what's going on or what has been going on. See, I've always been told that I'm the problem, even while I'm minding my business, especially when it comes to me doing content creation. I be minding my business, baby. You can't tell that I love talking about stuff that most people don't like to talk about. And then you can't tell that I don't care about those views because I'm doing what I want to do that I know is right by speaking on certain things. And when the time is right, the algorithm gonna push it out. You can't tell who on this screen. Hmm. See what the enemy want to do right now is really shut me up. No, I'm not gonna do that because if I shut up, that means you win. Who do you now? You ain't winning when you with the enemy, baby. I don't care how good it looks by sight. See, a lot of people get that sight thing all confused. Yes, it may look one way on the surface, but you got to deep dive in order to truly see it, know what's going on. You may have watched some other heavy hitter, heavy hitting people on this platform with numbers. See, people like to listen to folks with numbers because they seem as though they're more of value. Let me just say, there's a lot of value here on this channel, honey. You just got to catch it. I throw it to you. I want you to catch it. I'm gonna present a YouTube short that the folks didn't like. The algorithm didn't want to push it out. I love when the algorithm starts to slow down on stuff because I'm knocking at the doors. If you see an individual by sight, and let's say this individual you see by sight, they got some money, honey. They even got a career, multiple. They got a name for themselves. They got a title, titles. By sight, it looked like they got it going on. Now, if they really got it going on, I'm talking about me. Why would they target and choose to waste their time to speak on someone who's broke, to speak on someone who ain't got nothing? Why would a wealthy person take their time out of their day to make time to talk about somebody like me? Somebody who they say ain't going nowhere, ain't going far, ain't gonna do nothing, ain't gonna never be nothing. Why would that person who got it going on come after me or someone else who ain't got it going on? I'm gonna need for you to understand you are walking by sight and you not applying that faith. Let me use our president for an example. Our president looked like he got it going on, right? Heck, he's the ruler of the world for right about now, and it has been for a minute. We know he got the money, baby. Donald Trump. You got to go back into his past and listen to him manifest the times that we're living in now. This man got money, he got it going on, but yet he wants to kill, steal, and destroy the people. Now he got it. He got it going on. Are you following what I'm trying to tell you? My sisters and my brothers, my brother and my sister. If he got all this, he ain't got to worry about no homelessness. He got multiple houses, multiple properties, multiple investments. He got all this. And if he got a smart brain like how it seems, because baby, Trump been the topic since for years, for decades. Why is he coming after the poor people? Think about it. He got all of this. We know he's wealthy, but he's attacking and coming after the poor people. Seems to me he know his time is running out. Seems to me he got to use the poor people to make more money because you do know when you're incarcerated and locked up, they get paid to house people, right? Did you know that? Don't trust me, but put some trust in me and do some research if you care. So if somebody really got it going on and they're doing what they're doing unto someone who you see by sight, they ain't got it going on. I'm here to tell you something is wrong. I'm here to tell you you are being played. I am here to tell you that you are being fooled. I am here to tell you that something is wrong. You got it mixed up. I remember someone left a comment. I mean, a long, nasty comment. I was like, child, I read the first part, but I'm going to go ahead and block you. Somebody said, well, this person rich. Why would they speak on you? I was trying to figure out the same thing because I mean, I did graduate high school all 12 years. And then I do got some college credits. I'm trying to act teacher. Can you help me figure out this equation? Why this going on? If they got it going on, why are they coming after me? I see that a lot of folks still sleep and just don't want to get it. And that's fine. I'm still gonna tell my story. But I need for you to use me as an example and pay attention. If somebody really got it going on in their life, and if you watched everything that's going on in mine's being that I shared it with you, and if you watched everything else that somebody else created within their platform that they had for years and it's just not working, I'm gonna need for you to add it up and make it make sense with the S. And then put it with a C over here for me by going back and watch some of my videos, if not all, and let the ads run too. Yeah, I greatly appreciate it. So I ain't got to come on here and ask you for nothing, but I can get it by earning it by entertaining you, because this is surely an entertaining SHIT show, but not too SHITTY enough like the other people I see. Because Lord have mercy, they got it, honey. They surely turned their pain in the game. I guess I'm really not that messy. Because I'm a hot mess, but I guess my mess ain't that hot enough. Because I was trying to study some folks online that they use their pain and turn to the game like, ooh, we got the same story a little bit. Just a little bit, you know what works for one and ain't gonna work for the next. But some working though. hmm But I was raising my hand, a teacher, God my teacher, you my teacher too. We all teachers out here, teachers in our own right. Why is this happening if they got it going on? How? I mean, what did I really do to make them feel this way, or say those things about blood, baby? Blood is thicker than water, but blood don't mean nothing, honey. Yes. Welcome to my world. I am currently homeless, and I didn't see it coming, but I see everything else. Now, ain't that just something? hmm But I woke up feeling angry. Like, dang, God, when my time gonna come? I'm not gonna know that yet until I continue to walk this life. Well, I'm not hating on the next person no more. Because when I tell you, after living and walking in these shoes, honey, I don't want nothing that nobody got because I don't know what you did to get it. I will stay my real raw, pure, and authentic self and chase my own creativity and see if I'll ever get it right. And I was being funny to make myself feel better early on through these hours. I was like, if I could get paid to do something, I can get paid for failing. Baby, I'd be rich as hell. I would be rich for failing as many times as I did. I said, dang, why they ain't got a job for that? Why can't I get paid for that? Because, baby, I got a track record of that. I always fail. It don't matter what I do. If some, no, not everything failed. Not everything. Let me give myself a little more credit by the grace of God for that. Not everything, but majority would have had more fails than wins, honey. We're not doing what our last name sounds like, but hopefully we getting on track, you know? But you ever thought about that? Then I thought about some of the people that I've seen online who did speak to me through messages. In order for you to win, you gotta fail. You do. Shaq said it. Michael Jordan said it. Michael Jackson said it. Prince said it. Aretha Franklin said it. My girl, what's her name? Why can I ever? As some people even told me this in person. Even a family member said this trying to be funny. Jennifer Lewis even said it. That's my girl right there. We can. Uh huh. I'm her little niece. Jennifer Lewis said it. A lot of people said it. In order for you, Maya Angelou said it. Oprah Winfrey said it. Mm, that's just a different side, but I thought about it, so I'll keep the thought. But in order for you to win, you gotta fail. You have to fail in order to succeed. This is true because I don't know nobody that just won, and if they did, I don't know. You know, they just won. And then I don't know no that bacon smells. That is bacon. The little I know what bacon that is. That's the microwavable bacon. That smells good. Speaking of smells. Mm. But yeah, I feel as though I have every right to be angry. And then I'm proud of how I'm handling it because I could literally have messed not only my life up, but some other people's lives. Now, if the other people's lives messed up, that ain't got nothing to do with me because I'm gonna tell my story that you a part of this, you a part of it, you know. And if you didn't like what you did, you shouldn't have did it. You shouldn't have touched me. But people been touching me for years, knowingly and unknowingly, and that's the hard pill to swallow. When I'm looking back on the things that he's showing me, I'm like, I just shared a video this morning, the song, the use me, why didn't you choose me? I was such a goofy for not seeing what I needed to see because my eyes are so pure. I didn't really believe that people would do like really evil stuff. Now I had to keep me in mind. I ain't never been evil. Although I did some bad things. I was a thief. I did joke on people. I gossiped and I talked about people. But I ain't never preyed on nobody's downfall. I may have spoken on it though when it came to Peach because I did that because they're big. But I'm gonna leave that out of it because what I said it was proven. Although it wasn't right, but it was proven. It took years for it to come to light, but I was right. But what's right got to have anything to do with it? Nothing. Not nothing at all. But he showed me some things that I thought that I had pushed out of sight. You know, I put it back, not trying to remove it. I forgave and I tried to forget, but he didn't let me forget. He brought it back for a reason. I've been through so much within a short amount of time. And even before now, the year 27 ringing a bell. And then the people that's involved in my problem, I'm trying to figure out, do you not know that you were used too to come against me? And if you think about me, what did I do to you? I minded my business. Or was it possible that you wanted me to mind yours and be close? That's the only thing I can think of. I'm trying to figure out why. Not really. Before I was. Why am I going through what I'm going through? Child, it's clear as day. I ain't gonna make it clear for you if you can't see already. It's clear as day. Why not you? Why not you? Look at everybody else. Why not you? Why not you? You don't care about how things look to people because you just care about how you feel. Well, why you don't care about what other people care about that will mess up their reputation? Although it's time to build a better reputation, not because I want it, it's because God cares. God cares about our reputation, honey. He does, especially we're His children. He cares about our reputation because we stem from Him. He created us. I'm having fun with weaving this. I'm acting like I'm crocheting. I'm crocheting a little, I don't know. But He cares. And I got to work on that next. I told Him, God, I don't care. But I care for you because I know I'm not living for me. I ain't got nothing that I wanted yet in life. Nothing. And that's the honest to God truth. I ain't got nothing. No, I take that back. A black and matter calm my nerves. Whoop de doo. And that's mad. But I have yet to receive anything in life that I ever wanted. Nothing. So that's why I'm asking when my time gonna come. They got what they wanted. When mine's gonna come. They had fun abusing and using me. When I'ma have fun worshiping you the way that I want to, how I want to, in the environment that I want to. Girl, that word won't ain't got nothing to do with you can want all you want, but if it ain't what he want, you ain't gonna get it. But there is one thing that I told him. If I'm when the judgment day do come, I'ma stand with my head held high, like how everybody be saying. I be seeing you walk around here with your head held high, baby. You're giving me princess or queen vibes. Yeah, I know that you tell it. I'ma hold my head up high. What I said next, anybody know when my big girl panties on? And I'm going to attest to everything that I did because that's what I do want over anything. But I'm ready to, see what he also promised for me to experience here on earth too. But that's something for me to do. I got to learn how to be more obedient and leave out the disobedience. See, the enemy don't want you to tell your testimony or your story because it seems as though you're doing something bad or wrong. Mm. That's why I was silent for so long until I opened up in my 20s by telling things that I went through. There's a lot of people who are older than me who started telling their stories as time went on because it was just eating away at them. A particular, I think we can somewhat, whatever, in their 40s, and they held on to something that they went through, a little incesting or molestation. A family member or a friend of the family had touched them and they chose to do what I had did. They shut up because they felt as though that their folks weren't gonna do nothing about it because they could see their people for who they was. That person began to tell their story in their age of 40s and they told their parents and their parents was like, well, what can I do about it now? The same thing that wouldn't have been done if it was told back then, nothing. But just have a listening ear to hear. So now you may know why certain people was acting a certain way during those times. Life is something. Life is also what you make it. And baby, I'm just trying to win the best way that I can. And the day I got to go that I don't want to spend, I got to go to the laundromat, honey. hmm That's if I do go. What I want to do, I just don't feel I ain't got that many to do. I want to go get me some lip gloss. I want to go get me a coffee because we surely ain't paying for no Starbucks. I'll be darned. 7-Eleven is just fine. I don't know what I'm going to do today. I know I'm going to rest up. That what I is go do, hoodie. But anywho, that's all that I wanted to come on here and share. And then I'm going to end it with, man, you can see on the surface of how things look. Let me give you an example. No, and I may throw you off, and that's fine. It was a TikTok video that came up on my channel this morning, and it was a lady doing what I used to do, gossip about this young lady. And it was a girl. She's a young parent. She's in her 20s, and she's she's using her son for content, like most parents do. That's content creators online. They use their children, didn't have a problem with why their children get attacked because the parent who should have sense and knowledge, you put your child on here for your own personal gain or theirs. This little girl asked her son, "What you want to eat?" And then she took it to her vagina. Oh, it's hairy down there and it smells and da 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 da. She was doing some sexual stuff with her son on TikTok. See, when TikTok first came about, I remember you couldn't do nothing on TikTok really. You couldn't show no liquor. You couldn't really show no body parts. But as you see, if you are a TikTok head, you can see how TikTok has changed, especially since after that shutdown of it. You are seeing so much stuff on TikTok that should not be on there, let alone YouTube. You got explicit YouTube. If you find the particular thing, you this is a porn site. TikTok is a porn site. Now, is that right? Now, let's just say if you are in your flesh to live in, yeah, that's right. It's free. I get free lust access. But for those who got sense, I don't care if it do make you feel good. That ain't right because why? We got kids on this platform. Kids on the platform. We got kids on this platform that's looking at stuff. And the kids do what? They follow and do what they see their parents doing. Or they follow and see what they see other creators doing. This is the girl got views, baby, for doing wrong things and then using her child to play a of age adult. That's not any content that you should be using your child with. Speaking on that before I do leave, if you look at the music industry now and then take it back to before, we got so many young creative artists. You ever ask yourself why is that? Let's just say as you wising up and as you age ain't nothing but a number. But if you mature within age, they not gonna really want to work with or give of age people contracts, good contracts. Follow me if you can, because a mature and wise person, they're gonna do their research and read what's in the contract. They're gonna do what they need to do to make sure they sound in a good deal. Why do you think they target kids? And then the parents of the kids who are in charge, all they're worrying about is that dollar. They're not worried about reading the fine print. They're not worried about what's gonna happen to their life. They're not worried about none of that. They just worried about that dollar. Remember, the enemy gonna give you what you want while God give you what you need. Why do you think back then they chose all of these youngins? Don't keep in mind these youngins had parents now, and these parents put their children in the position that they put them in because the parents was money hungry. Bills had to be paid. Children were sacrificed for their own personal gain. Everything by sight ain't what it seems like. And then if you do see it for what it is. And understand that we are living in an illusion. And also understand that we are now living in a time where good is looked at as evil and evil is looked at as good. Anywho, that's my time. I hope that you have a personal conversation with YouTube before you leave up out of here. Hit that like button, babes. Hit that like button. And if you don't, that's fine. Because hopefully you sat here and listen to my message on this morning. Anywho, stay tuned for a little something because that's all I got in my phone. That's a little something. We ain't been creating no videos. We've been going through life for real, for real. I just been holding on to past content and pushing it out when I'm pushing it out, and hopefully it's gonna do what God intended for it to do. Nothing or something. Stay tuned. See y'all later. Have a great day. Stay warm, please, for me, and send some through the screen because it's getting hard out here, baby. For me, because I'm actually outside on these streets. Mm, I wish I could get into a room. I guess I keep wishing upon a little star and I wonder how wonderful it is.